Germany needs to lower its gas usage so that its reserves can be filled up by winter, says the country's economy minister Robert Habeck. For now, Germany will ramp up electricity production at coal power plants to make up for the limited natural gas supply, a move that will raise carbon emissions. Berlin also plans to introduce an option to compensate companies that lower their gas usage. Now, this comes after Russia's Gazprom announced it would be reducing gas deliveries to Germany, citing technical reasons. The German government, however, says the move is politically motivated. Meanwhile, as Europe is getting less energy delivered from Russia, it's a different situation for China, where oil imports from Russia soared to a record level in May, rising 55% on the year. Chinese refineries are cashing in on discounted Russian oil supplies amid Western sanctions on Moscow over its war in Ukraine. Until last month, Saudi Arabia was the leading supplier to China, the world's biggest crude oil importer. The latest figures also show that Chinese oil refineries are still buying oil from Iran, which has also been targeted by Western sanctions. So whereas energy supplies don't seem to be a problem right now for China, there are issues ramping up that could hamper growth.
Throughout last year, business in China was good for EU firms, with 2/3 seeing their sales grow by at least 22%. But the mood shifted in April. The majority of companies lowered sales expectations for 2022, according to the results of a snap survey by the European Union Chamber of Commerce in China. Companies are worried about the difficult geopolitical situation amid the war in Ukraine. On top of that, shipping costs are rising, and the closure of Chinese ports due to Beijing's zero-COVID strategy had a negative impact on business. In January, around 1 in 10 European firms said they wanted to move their investments from China to other countries. By April, nearly a quarter of firms wanted to do so. That's the highest level in a decade. And there's more. Chinese labor conditions have worsened, says the EU Chamber of Commerce. Firms are experiencing difficulty retaining workers.
All right, for more, let's cross over to Bettina Schön. She's the Vice President of the European Union Chamber of Commerce in China. Welcome to DW, Bettina. So the mood among European companies in China is turning increasingly sour. Lockdowns, supply chain strains, political pressure. Am I missing something?
Well, yes, obviously you really listed it all. So the COVID outbreak definitely is quite an issue, and it causes a lot of uncertainty. Then we have a slowing economy, and the business environment is getting more and more political. So this makes doing business in China more and more difficult for a majority of our members.
But what exactly is the impact? We don't see an exodus of companies, do we?
No, we don't see an exodus of companies because the market is for sure very big and important. But it causes actually that headquarters will silo, they will decouple their companies here in China. They localize the staff, they localize ID and data storage systems, and they onshore supply chains. And another effect is for sure that with regard to future investments, which would normally have gone to China, they will rethink it and shift it to other markets, because with this uncertainty is not a good ground to invest.
Tell us about this siloing that you mentioned. What does this mean precisely?
Well, yes, as I have mentioned, they actually need to set up two systems with regard to IT and data storage, which with regard to supply chains, one for China and one for the rest of the world. And with regard to staffing with positions here, we see now that more and more companies, they localize actually positions from junior staff up to board members. This leads for sure to a decoupling, because to have a diverse team with foreigners working here in China and also Chinese going to the headquarters, this leads to more exchange and mutual understanding, and this is crucial for doing business here.
One could also argue that having more Chinese individuals and Chinese nationals in these sort of positions of power could be a good thing when it comes to understanding the market.
It is for sure important that also the Chinese have the opportunity to develop and work in these positions. It must be a good mix. But the expats working here and going back in the headquarters, they act as ambassadors. They are multipliers because they can report about their experiences in the China market. We always say China is a fitness center. So you work here, so you experience the dynamics on the ground. Is very important to make the headquarters understand how China is working and going.
Bettina Schön, Vice President of the European Union Chamber of Commerce in China. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.